you're probably not high elo. And depending on who you ask, I might not be either. Today, I want to talk about what is high elo and what actually makes a good rank. Since I coach for a living and I do all of this stuff, helping people get to higher rank and stuff, I run into a lot of problems where people think, what's high rank? Why do I want to get to a higher rank? And why does it matter? Today, I kind of want to talk about why does it matter and what does high elo getting a high rank actually do for you? The first thing, what does getting a high rank actually do for you? The answer is nothing. It's a video game. We play League to have fun. We do other things with ratings involved. We play chess for fun. We play sports for fun. The reason we play these games is because it's an engaging activity that's fulfilling to us to try to express our best selves, right? League is a tool. It's a tool that you can use to express your competitiveness and to express your best self and to express these certain parts of yourself that you can express on the Rift. And you can express your discipline to, practice very hard, or you get to have an outlet to compete against other people. And these things are very good, positive things. But you don't actually have to be at any rank to do that. You can do that in Iron. You can do that in Gold. You can do that in Challenger. You can do that everywhere. So rank doesn't actually matter. I think there are two groups of people that rank matters for. The first one is pro players. Obviously, if you want to be a pro player, you have to be pretty darn good. And to get pretty darn good, you got to hit high elo on the ladder. So if you want to be pro, you got to be challenger. And content creators. I have noticed, if you scroll through the most popular Twitch streamers, the vast majority of them have been or are currently Masters Plus, which is absurdly high elo. That's not just top 10%, top 1%. That's top 0.1%. It's absurdly high. So content creators, I'm not even sure why this trend exists. And of course, there are exceptions, right? There's a lot of people who make successful League content that aren't necessarily near the top of the ladder. But the majority of the most popular League content creators are all pretty high rank. And that's pretty surprising. So if you want to be a content creator, it's a good idea to get pretty high rank. But for the rest of us, doesn't matter at all. It's just for fun, right? So there's actually when people rank shame or they buy elo boosts and all these things, it never makes sense to me because the way that I view League is it's a tool to express yourself. If you buy these things or you ruin your way to express yourself, you completely take away the tool that League is. And now League is no longer a tool. It's a fashion statement. And a League fashion isn't very pretty. You know what I mean? Saying that you're diamond isn't actually relevant to anybody. So now the question, okay, we got that out of the way. League rank doesn't matter. But what's a good League rank? Generally speaking, and I will give you my opinion as a full-time coach and a GrandMaster Plus player. So the most important thing about rank is to understand it's relative. The whole point of a ranking system is to compare you to the people around you. So it's hey, we have three of you. I want to know which one's the best one at this thing. We're going to do a ranking system and have you guys play some games. We'll see the top one. So in the ranking system, it shows just who's better than who. In that kind of ranking system, somebody who's better than average is a good player. So what is the average rank in League of Legends right now? It's silver 1 to gold 4. That means if you're gold 4 or higher, I would consider you a good player. You are better than most League players when you are gold. I think gold is a very good rank to achieve. If you've hit gold, you've proved that you know League more than most people. You know that you're probably one of the best out of your friends, right? You can introduce new people to the game. You can teach them good things. So gold is a good rank. I think that is the first definition of high elo. Now, gold players, the difference between gold players and challenger players is massive. It's even bigger, I would say, than the difference between low elo or a brand new player and a gold player. So this is where people get tripped up. Gold is good. However, the difference between Iron 4 and gold is smaller. It's less information. It's less practice and training than it is from gold 4 to challenger. Because the higher you get, the harder it gets to climb up steps. And this creates this really elitist mindset where high ranked players will look down a step and the step is really big, right? Going from master to challenger is really big. It's bigger than going from gold to diamond. So then you'll have a challenger player look down at a master player and say some obscene things, even though a master player is the top 0.1% of the community. And a master player, by pretty much any way to measure or any thing that makes sense, is among the best in the world at their game. I mean, there are a couple of things, of course, if they want to go pro, like if you're doing the things that you're actually trying to get something for your rank, then of course, Masters is a big way from Challenger. And if there's a choice between a Master and a Challenger, you will always take the Challenger in terms of raw game skill. With that sense, each new accomplishment is really good. And I'm going to talk to you guys about what I believe the best benefits of each, hitting Platinum and Diamond and Masters are. So when you hit Gold, you are now better than average. And that is a very good point to say, like, hey, you know League. You've played League. You know the very basics. You've expressed yourself to know how to handle the game. That's really cool. Good job. Platinum, that's the next step. Platinum, I think, is roughly the top 15 or 10%, something like this. Of course, all these numbers are going to change next split in about a month when Emerald comes out, but the top percentage points, this stuff still makes sense. So the top 10 to 15%, when you're Platinum, you are better than the vast majority of players, right? You're better than 80 to 90% of everybody else. That means, let's do a little visualization activity. If you took 100 random League players, completely random, and you were Platinum 4, chances are you would be in the top 15 of the best one, right? Imagine a room of 100 people. The Platinum player would most likely be the top 15. So that's very good. These players have expressed that they know how to pilot a champion and they know a little bit more advanced game details. I think around higher Platinum is when people start to really understand what good League starts to look like. Diamond 4. Now this is the top 1% or so. It's probably a little bit more skewed. It's probably top couple percent, 3-4%. Again, if you're in a room of 100 people, the Diamond player, even if they're just Diamond 4, will be like the third or fourth best person in there, which is crazy. If you are Diamond, you are incredible at the game. Now, I view Diamond 4 as it's basically Platinum plus. You're starting to get pretty good at the game. You're starting to know what good League looks like, and you're starting to know it a little bit. Now, these guys are still missing some higher level concepts. They're still missing information. So when we get to Masters is like the top 0.1% or maybe 0.3 or 4% depending on how late it is in the season. These guys, if you took a room of 100 random League players in your Masters, you're going to be the best player most of the time. It's going to be rare. All the other Master or GrandMaster Challenger players, if we took random groups, they're going to be in other groups. You're going to be the best player. That's crazy. You are the best player out of 100 of them. So these guys, I view Masters as okay, you now know League. You know all of the ideas. You have been exposed to the advanced ideas. You have been exposed to high-level mechanics. You have been exposed to what it takes to do good things. However, you're only good at a little bit of them. And there's lots of mistakes. There's no longer basic mistakes, but there's lots of fog still. So you know what it looks like. You know how it is to play, but there's lots of fog going on, kind of. There's lots of parts of the game that you don't see too well. There's lots of parts of the game that you don't see in the future early enough. You're not thinking ahead further enough. You don't have a big enough champion pool, so you're very susceptible to going up and down based on the patches. So these guys, they know the whole game of League. I think if you take most Master players, they could coach somebody up to Diamond relatively easily. But they don't have the clairvoyance. They don't have the I want to say future sight. They don't have the foresight to kind of know and execute the game perfectly, and then the execution needs a lot of work as well. GrandMaster. Now, GrandMaster is where people get solid. If you are a GrandMaster player, man, you are one of the best players in the whole world, and it's just ridiculous what these guys can do. Now, I was only GrandMaster. I peaked ladder rank I was a little bit under ladder rank 600. So I was 590 or something. And this is my peak. And I only had it for about 2.5 months. And I peaked that this season. So that was pretty new for me. And these lobbies, people don't mess up. People don't mess up. If people are dying, it's because of these kind of layers and layers built upon each other of things. It's not simple mistakes. It's not like they forgot to ward or they weren't keeping track of something. It's like they took a gamble that had layers and layers and layers built upon it. There's mind games going on. And people don't mess up basic things ever in GrandMaster, really. They're messing up complicated things. So they're taking gambles. And they're not necessarily, sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. But these guys, they see the game much clearer than a Masters player, and they see it much more well-rounded, right? Master players tend to have much more narrow perspectives on the game. They have very skewed understanding oftentimes because they've played it through the lens of one champion, or they only have a little bit of experience. The Grandmaster guys, they're the experienced guys. They're the old man. They've seen it all. And these guys are just obscenely good. Okay, and if you're a challenger, I've never hit challenger yet. I was a few games away once upon a time this season, and I'm hoping to hit it next split. So for you guys who don't know my climb, about 2.5 years ago, I was gold. About 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I was like diamond. And then I was masters for about a year, and I just hit grandmaster for the first time this year. I'm hoping next split that I can hit challenger and peek into it. These guys, if you are challenger, you should be making money from this game. And if you're not, you're trolling, dude. You're trolling. You should make some sort of content. You should play competitively. Do something with that challenger thing you got going on. Because you are incredibly talented and you are just obscenely good. I mean, I'm not sure there's a lot more to say about challenger. This is where rank actually matters. If you can hit challenger, it starts to actually matter and mean some things in the real world. You can start making some real money. You can start making some real content. You can get a scholarship to play League and Collegiate. Pretty much guaranteed, like pretty much anywhere you want to go that has these scholarships. Like you can get that stuff done at Challenger. And Challenger is crazy. So hopefully one day I'll get there and I'll be able to keep you guys more updated on the difference between Grandmaster and Challenger. Now, the difference is that I believe, from when I was playing in Grandmaster and I was seeing some of these Challenger players, is the Challenger players see everything. They know everything that can happen in a game before it happens. So if they're loading into a game and they're playing, Jinx ADC, and they see that the enemy is playing Ornn top, they've already seen that the Ornn can teleport behind them at 10 minutes because TPs get unleashed at 10 minutes now. Like, they're seeing this in loading screen. And they just have this incredible way of understanding how the game has to play out, and they have this very solid understanding of win conditions and team compositions, and they just see things so far into the future that they're able to play out all these different lines and be so adaptable because they know how it's going to play out already. So they know if they do this, what it looks like. They know if they do that, what it looks like. And it's just crazy. So that's what I'm working on, and hopefully I'll get there. Anyways, I just wanted to drop a video and talk about what I think rank means, what I think a good rank is, and things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.